Okay. So, hello guys. We will continue working on our probability units for this week also. And I know last time they're like a little confusing for probability problems, but for this time we will like getting better. Absolutely. And if you have any questions, just leave it for next class where you can contact us also. And yeah, we will start today's lesson right now. And let's start with a warm-up questions for number 2. Wilson, do you want to start this off?
Yeah, sure. So two coins are tossed and find the probability that two heads are obtained. So each so note each coin has two possible outcomes, heads and tails. So basically, the probability of getting each, so either head or tail, is 50% because there's only one possible outcome of the two sides. And then you're tossing two coins in the same time. Um, so getting one head out of one coin is 50% of the probability. And then getting another head on another coin is also 50% of probability. And so you multiply them together and you get 25%.
Yeah, cool. So, yeah, kind of the same. 1/4 where you can write 25% or 0.25. Okay, so let's try number 3 by yourself first, and then we can check answer at the end. So we will give you about 1 minute. Okay, so let's go with Steven.
So which of these numbers cannot be a probability? So we know that for a probability has to be between the range 0 and 1 inclusive. So therefore for A, it's a negative number, so it cannot be a probability. For B, 0.5, that is a probability. For C, it's greater than 1, so therefore it cannot be a probability. For D, 0 can be a probability. It just never happens. It's still a probability. And for E, 1 is a probability. And that's just when something always happens. And F, 20%, that's a probability as well. That's equivalent to 0.2.
Yeah, so the final answer will be A and C. Yeah, here's the answers. You can check it. Okay. So let's do question 5 together with Roger.
The fifth one.
Yeah.
Okay, so this question is asking sorry, it's asking the probability that the die shows an odd number and the coin shows a head. So we assume that it's a fair dice, and a fair dice has like a normal dice has 6 faces. That's better. It's better for you to understand. So it has so it's asking the odd numbers, which means it's asking the probability, the sum of probability of like it shows either 1, 3, or 5. And coin shows a head. The probability of coin shows a head. It's simply 1/2. And remember that it's an and relationship here. So it should be the probability of showing an odd number times uh, a coin showing a head. So a normal dice has 6 faces, and we are being asked about 1, 3, 5, 3 digits. So 3/6 is 1/2, and 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4. It's a quarter. So a quarter is the probability that the die shows an odd number and the coin shows a head. Should we continue to the 6th question?
No, just leave it for like a little bit. So here's the answer. You can check it by yourselves. Okay, so you can try number 6 by yourself first, and then after 1 minute, we're gonna do it together. Okay, so let's go with Elaine. With number 6.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. So probability is like the number of like answers over the total. And since there's 52 cards in a deck, and there's only 1 3 of diamonds in a deck, it would be 1 out of 52.
Yeah. So here is the explanation. You can just read it by yourselves. Yeah. So question 8 is a marble question. So yeah, maybe we can do it together. So Kina, you wanna go with us?
Okay, so a jar contains 3 red marbles, 7 green marbles, and 10 white marbles. If a marble is drawn from the jar at random, what is the probability that this marble is white? So then, um, there's 10 white marbles, right? And then the probability that you would draw a white one would be the number of white marbles out of the total number of marbles, which is 20. So that would be 20 over 10, or 1/2, which is 50%.
Mm-hmm. So you also can like make a table with a like you can understand how many just like this. So next questions for question 9, you can try it by yourselves. So you can make a table just like question 8. So to help you understand. And yeah. Okay. So let's go with Mike.
Okay, so this question asks about the probability that this person has O blood type. There are 200 people in total, and since the question asks about O blood type, we find the number of people has O blood type, which is 70. And we just use the number of O blood type people divided by the whole group. So it's 70 divided by 200. And we need to simplify the fraction. So it becomes 7 over 20.
Yeah. So you also can write 0.35 or 35% is both fine. Okay. So from the last units, we learned about the area of polygons. Hope you guys remember it. So right now we're combining the probabilities of and the area of polygons together. So let's try the A first together with Wilson.
All right. So what is the probability of the dart hitting the red region? So basically for this one, we need to combine our prior knowledge of the area of a circle in order to calculate. So then, the yellow circle, so the big circle, has a radius of, actually my bad. We'll start from the square. So the square has a side length of 16. So let me just do the math real quick. So 16 times 16 is 256, and 256 should be the area of the square, and then the chance of, I assume in this case, the dart can only hit the board. So the chance of the area of the red circle would be pi r squared, which is 4 pi. And so it would be 4 pi over 56. And that will give us roughly 0.05, so about 5%.
Yeah. So just like we did on A, so try B by yourself or and also C. So we will check answer after you're done and just leave whatever your question is for next class. Okay, so just make it easier with you guys. Here is the area of the region, whatever is red, yellow, or blue. So it's already like solved for you. So just wait, just use this to help you with your thing, with your questions. Okay, so let's check B together. Let's see. Okay. So B is asking you for what is the probability of a dark dart hitting yellow region. So asking you what is the probability of yellow region? Just use the formula that I give you guys for this one. Okay. So Steven, you wanna explain the B?
So for B, you need to find the area of the yellow region. So you have to take the area of the big circle minus the area of the small circle. The area of the big circle is 4 squared times pi, that's 16 pi. And the area of the small circle is 2 squared times pi, and that's 4 pi. So therefore, the big circle minus the small circle is 16 pi minus 4 pi, that's 12 pi. And we found previously that the area of the whole square is 256 inches squared. So therefore, the probability of hitting yellow region is 12 pi over 256.
Cool. Okay. And Georgia for C.
So we'll see. Okay, back to the slide. We'll see. Well, we've already assumed that the whole square is means the O, which is the probability 1. So the probability of hitting the whole square is 1. And the blue region is a square minus the region of like the whole square minus the blue and red region, which is if you combine the blue and if you combine the yellow and red region, it's a circle with radius 4, and then you calculate the area of the outer circle, which contains yellow and red region. Its area is it's 4 square pi, uh, which is 16 pi square inches. And then you use the O minus the probability of hitting this region. You can get the probability of hitting its complementary region. So remember the probability of hitting the yellow region and red region. They combine. If you combine them, it will be pi over 16. And so hitting the blue region, its probability is 1 minus pi over 16. So that is the answer to part C.
Okay, so let's try E first, and then you can came back to D after we finish E. So, Ellen for E.
Okay, he says, what is the probability that a dart hits both the red and yellow? And so the radius of the red and yellow circle is 4 inches. And so to find the area of the circle would be pi r squared. So pi times 4 squared, which is 16 pi. And and then you find that area out of the entire area, I believe. And then so then that's just 16 pi divided by 16 squared, which is 256. So I think the answer should be 16 pi divided by 256, or just pi over 16. Yeah.
Just remember it if you saw or dot words, so that means like you add together. Okay, so E, next one, is a interesting one. So let's go with Kina.
What is the probability of a dart hitting both red and a yellow region? Well, the probability is going to be 0 because a dart can't hit both regions at the same time. So it has to be either red or yellow. It can't be both.
Mm-hmm. Interesting one, huh? So try F. There's our first. So just remember, since here it says not the yellow one. So go ahead and try that one. Okay, so let's go with Mike for the F.
So for F, we need to find the probability of a dart that is not hitting the yellow part. So as we already solved for the probability of a dart hitting the yellow region in part B, since the question is asking the probability that is not hitting the yellow, we just use 1 to subtract the answer that we got in part B. And for part B, I think the answer is 12 pi over 256. So for part F, the answer just is 1 minus the answer, and that is the answer.
Cool. Yeah, and okay, so we'll go over G together. So it asks, what is the probability of the dart hitting gray region? So as you saw in the picture, there is no gray region. There is no gray color. So the probability will be 0 because that is impossible. Yeah, and make sure you write down the notes if you want for or and how you solve that problem. Okay. So right now we're gonna review the last unit, which is the area of shapes. So here is some practice problem from last class with rectangle. Hope you guys remember it. So let's try first two together. No, by yourself, I mean. So let's see. I'll give you guys 1 minute to solve that problem. Okay, so I will go over the answer right now. So for the first one, we know that you do 11 times 7 with the area. So that will be 77 for the first one. And then for the second one, we know the area of the rectangle. So we do 500 divided by 20, which is I 250 for the second one. And if you guys need to look at the equation, here is it. And yeah, let's try the squares together for 14. So go with Wilson.
All right. So for number 14, so then we can see pretty obviously that it is a square because the opposite side lengths are equal, and there's another side that's 18 miles. And then to get the area, you just do 18 times 18. And then that gets you, let's see, 324
Cool.
miles squared. Yes.
Okay. And for last time, we didn't set about the unit problems, like here, for example. So after you solve for your numbers, just remember to add a square at the units, just like what we do here. And if it's like 13, like inches, just do like inch squares like that. And yeah. Area of triangle, just make sure you get it. The equation is, function is here. Okay, so let's try the second one by yourself first. Okay, so Steven for next second one.
So for this one, we just do 1/2 base times height. And if we take 24 as the base, we can see that 7 will be the height because it's a right triangle. So the two sides are perpendicular to each other. Therefore, you just do 1/2 times 24 times 7, and that gives you 84 inches squared.
Cool. Yeah, just make sure you didn't use 25 as the base. I saw last time you guys have that problems, so don't use 25. Area of circle. So hope you guys remember the formula. And yeah. So let's try the first one together. Remember the formula is pi r squared. So go with Roger. First one.
Okay, so for the first circle, it's pretty obvious that its radius is 6 meter. So according to the formula, the area of the circle equals its equals pi times the radius square. So the area here is pi times 6 square, which is 36. So the area of this circle is 36 pi.
Cool. Okay, and try number like 2 by yourselves. Okay. So be careful since the second one was a diameter, the number that give you. So you need to divide by 2 first will be 4 for the radius. And let's go with Elaine.
Okay, so the radius is like half of the diameter, which right here is 8. Diameter is just from one point of the circle to the opposite end. And so the radius is half of 8, which is 4. And then you use the formula pi r squared, in which r is 4. And so you do pi times 4 squared, which is just 16 pi.
Cool. Let's do one together with Kina.
Which one am I doing?
Just first one.
Um, so the area of a trapezoid would be the first two, both bases added together divided by 2 and then multiply that by the height. For this one, it would be 12 plus 5, which is 17, divided by 2, which is 8.5, and then you multiply that by the height, which is 4, and you get 34 centimeters squared.
Cool. And we will end early today, but let's do the last one together with Mike.
So for the last one, the formula is the two bases add together times the height divided by 2. So we add 13.7 with 10.3 and is 24, I think. And just use 24 to times 5 and divide by 2. And that should be the answer. Wait, let me calculate it really quick. 60.
Cool. Okay. So hey students, we will end early today. So take like a couple minutes break and then you will come back for English class. And then master leave it for like 10 minutes. We will talk about our important updates.